Is it alive? Is it live?
All right, there's a lot of beautiful energy in this room, and we're going to have a warm-up for you. This song might be new to you, or you might have heard it a long time ago. Sing along if you're ready. This is a song that has an easy chorus, and you can let me do the verses if you want. All right.
In the monitor, I'm fine.
Surrounded by love, I am filled with love. I am made from love. I am love. I am love. Let's do that again. I am surrounded by love. I am filled with love. I am made from love. I am love. Loving angels gather round. I want to hear your holy sound. Lay your healing hands on me. Won't you help me release? Everybody. I am surrounded by love. I am filled with love. I am made from love. I am love. I am love. I'm opening up to a mighty light. It's lifting me up to a higher height. I clearly see all the beauty in me, reminding me love sets us free. I am surrounded by love. I am filled with love. I am made from love. I am love. I am love. One more time. I am surrounded by love. I am filled with love. I am made from love. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. So beautiful to see you out there. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing Beloved Come a Trickling. One, two, three. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and
My name is Carl Jansen, and welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. I love looking around at everybody doing the hand gestures. It's like being in a third grade class. Which is about where we
And
are,
that's
right,
a
John?
compliment.
Third grade.
That's a compliment.
No, it's a compliment. So thank you, Lisa, Joan, and Diane for this is written funny, for the song. We are pleased to welcome Sounds of Joy back again. We love you guys. And all of our singers will be accompanied by David, Dusty, and Dan. Thank you all for sharing your music with us. I do invite you at this time to turn your cell phones to silence as we enjoy this sacred time together. Please join me by turning to the camera and waving to our friends at home. Your presence is a real addition to our spiritual community this morning. We're glad to have you with us. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision for the world is we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness. And our mission is who we have come to be. We are a loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all. And our values are love, connection, service, and wisdom. I invite you to join me in affirming our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Invite the ushers to come forward. If you are with us for the first time, let me be the first to welcome you and encourage you to stay after the service and meet some of us in the patio. If you are comfortable, I invite you to raise your hand. Second time's a good time. We have a little welcome pack. Okay. And if you are new and chose not to raise your hand, you can go into the bookstore and get a welcome package there. Thank you for coming. Connection cards are available for everyone in the seat pockets in front of you. And with this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the coming week. You may also share feedback or request information, so please place your card in the basket along with the offering. And now take time to greet the people immediately around you.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one
have several activities to highlight this week for you with the upcoming holiday season. Would you like to spend time on Christmas Day in fellowship with some of your Unity friends? Good. We would like to discuss creating a Christmas Day gathering. So talk to Annie and Pam on the patio after the service. That's either going to encourage you to do this or scare you away. I'm not sure which. Among other things, during the holiday season for giving in Unity of Walnut Creek, we're going to do our teddy bears as we've been doing for a long time. I saw some people holding bears. Who does bears? There we go. And if you remember how this works, you can purchase bears in the bookstore or at a toy store and bring them with you to the next couple Sundays, and we're going to love them all up and pass them around and ultimately give them to the children at the Children's Hospital, and they love having them. Also, backed by a popular demand this year, we're doing the Adopt a Family program. Thank you. We're adopting 2 families, and we have cards. Each card represents a gift for a specific family member. There are about 7, 8, 9 cards left out there on the round table. 3? Fantastic. Go get those 3 cards. I took 2. I'll put 1 back. I'll just keep 1 for myself. It is really a neat feeling when you're opening your gifts on Christmas morning to realize that there's 2 families out there. Well, actually, there's tons of families out there. We're adopting just 2 of them that are getting what they wanted that Christmas and sharing that joy and knowing that somebody loved them enough to get those gifts for them. So it's a fun thing to do, and it really goes a long way. Join Joseph Sibley, author of The Physics of God, this Friday, on November 22nd for a talk that may alter how you think of God and what you think about yourself. And he'll do this without talking about math, which for some people, there you go, or dogma, which for other people, there you are. Now that sounds like a fun way to learn physics. Join us next Sunday for an author reading with our dear Lisa Nichols as she shares from her brand new book. Come here and hear Lisa's journey to become an author. Experience how she helps people move through stress and grief in acceptance and calm. As we listen to her insights, we'll enjoy a light lunch and receive a 20% discount on all merchandise in the bookstore. So that's next Sunday. Yes, go for Lisa. That's next Sunday after the 11:30. And let's give thanks this year. Share your gratitude with your spiritual family at a beautiful and uplifting service on Wednesday, November 27th at 7 p.m. And then come back at noon on Thanksgiving Day for a festive potluck meal. Please sign up on the patio today if you're interested in attending the meal. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. So, Spirit said, I've got something really nice for your heart. I'm going to drop you into Walnut Creek for a moment. Oh, thank you. Thank you all. You are so loved. You're just, wow. So taking that deep breath through our hearts, let's take a time of connecting with that amazing, infinite presence of wisdom and love and power that is who you are, that's a part of our being, that's a part of all that is. And spend a moment together in prayer and meditation. And to enter into this beautiful place, we are so blessed with the gorgeous talent of these amazing voices and beautiful people who help us go to this sacred place. So as they sing this simple music of gratitude, a song that has been part of the connecting to that deep appreciation that's a part of this community for many years. Let it invite you into that very center of your heart.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful. Grateful for this sacred moment together. Grateful to consciously be aware of this divine love that flows in and through our beings, that fills our beings, that is the very vibration of our souls. I'm so grateful to know that this love right now in this moment flows into my being without limit. For we know that we are loved completely and unconditionally. We know that it is the very nature of this divine love to embrace all that we are, to hold us in compassion, joy, and that deep serenity in which we know our oneness with each other, with all that is, and with the divine that is all. Mother, Father, God, infinite love, beloved presence, here now, with our hearts grateful, filled with love, we spend this moment simply resting in your love. We enter into this sacred moment of silence where the mind stills, the heart is open, and we dwell consciously at one with the one. Infinite love. Divine presence. Father, Mother, God. We choose to say yes. To say yes to being open to this divine love, filling every part of our lives. To experiencing it in each moment, in each day. There's the goodness and the beauty and the wholeness of that divine intention radiates through our beings. We accept it as the vitality and health and wholeness in our bodies, as brilliance and understanding in our minds, as harmony flowing through all of our relationships, as prosperity empowering all of our dreams, and as peace, the deep peace that comes from knowing our oneness with this infinite love. And so we allow this love as it fills our beings, and we direct it as we radiate it forth to each one who is dear to us, healing, lifting, blessing them, flowing out across this spiritual community to all who are part of your prayers, all who are part of your love, blessing each one, blessing this sacred work, blessing Reverend Kristen and her beautiful vision and wisdom. We see this beautiful love flowing through our hearts, through this community, out into the world, healing the fears of humankind as we recognize in harmony our oneness together. We open to the wholeness and the wisdom, blessing all of humankind as our love flows across this earth, touching every person, blessing every path, uplifting all. And as this love flows through our hearts, it enfolds and blesses this earth, bringing harmony to Mother Earth as she expresses ever greater wholeness. Gratefully, we radiate this love through our hearts to enfold the earth. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Feel the joy of that love as it flows through our hearts. Once again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. In this moment of love with all of humankind, we are grateful.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful for the presence, the magnificent, beautiful presence of the Christ as the light and wisdom and care and love in each being here. Amen.
I am grateful for the things that God has done. Yes, I'm grateful for the victories we've won. I could go on and on about good that's in my life. Because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful just to know it's right. Flowing from my heart are the visions of my heart. It's gratefulness. life. Because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful just to know it's right. Flowing from my heart are the visions of my heart. It's gratefulness. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart, flowing from my heart are the visions of my heart is gratefulness.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, what a cast of characters, huh? Ooh, what a treat. What a treat. Grateful to be here and to, I have such appreciation for Reverend Kristen and her wonderful leadership and presence with his spiritual family that means so much to me. So I just wanted to acknowledge that gratefulness on my heart. And some of us have been hanging out together for a while, like all day yesterday. And what we were doing was looking at how, in its essence, we get to the experience of spiritual connection and how that works. How do you do it? And what does it mean? I mean, we probably have all had marvelous moments where Spirit has wanted to teach us what it's like to not be connected. And we kind of remember what that's like. There's usually tension and upset, and we have marvelous thoughts that characterize people other than great, magnificent spiritual beings. And so, yeah, you know, that we know what it feels like to not be connected with Spirit, and that's a misconcept, really. The divine is omnipresent. You can't be not connected because it's the life force, the light, the intelligence, all of life. But we can experience the lack of conscious connection. That conscious experience is a very different one than simply, okay, I'm alive and moving on. So I wanted to share with you because I found that this desire to understand connection has been one of the things that has unfolded for me through many years. And the ability to get there, to find myself connected, to find that which is the divine consciously present mind, the peace, the harmony, the vitality, the clarity, the wisdom. Every now and then it's nice to have that. So let me share with you an example of what I mean. This is an experience that my son Peter shared with me. Now, Peter lives in L.A. with his wife Julia, and the situation was that Julia had been doing temporary work, and the company that she was working with recognized her talents and offered her a permanent position, a good salary, something that they had wanted to put their lives in a little different financial order. And so here was a wonderful opportunity. And except that Julia had been working there in the company, and she was aware why there was a vacancy and why everybody that took that job left. There's one of those marvelous, dysfunctional, you know the story. Okay. And so Julia's here. She's got this wonderful opportunity, and only a fool would take it. And so she's in this real conflict. Should she do it? Can she go in there, make a difference? Can do it differently? What, all that thing that began to go. And as she was worrying and realizing that she wasn't finding an answer, she was very worried. And it began to trigger patterns of anxiety that Julia had struggled with earlier in her life. So she's in the midst of sharing with Peter the struggle that she's in. And Peter's sitting there. But fortunately, Peter knew how to deal with that, because back in the years when Catherine and I were at HeartMath, Peter came and he participated in learning these techniques that actually stop your stress and worry and anxiety in a minute or two and give you access to this beautiful level of wisdom that makes it clear how we make the decisions. It brings that understanding. So Peter had this marvelous ability, and he was about to share this with Julia when he remembered he had done that before. And it had become very clear. Peter could be her husband, or he could be her HeartMath coach, but he couldn't be both. So he understood this was husband time. And then suddenly, if you had that situation where somebody you care about's in a struggle, and you want to help them, maybe you could, but you can't. Anybody ever been a parent? Yeah, okay, or a child for that matter. The frustration, the pain, the sense of powerlessness when we care about people and we can't help them. There's nothing that we can do. And so Peter found this feeling of powerlessness growing, and the frustration. He even knew what would help her, and he couldn't do it. And then he realized, well, I can't help her, but this moment I'm feeling powerless, frustrated. I can help me. So he went through for himself within a minute or two, just going through a set of very simple things that in their essence took him from the experience of non-connection, of being frustrated and upset and powerless and not connected with this person he loved, to the experience of being calm and centered and clear and knowing what to do. So he turned to Julia. He said, Julia, would it be all right if I held you? Julia kind of looked at him and said, so he just put his arms around his wife for a moment and just held her. And after a minute or two, there was a deep sigh. She said, thank you. And thank you for not saying anything. That had been part of the guidance. And because there is an end to the story, in the end, Julia took the job. She had the talent to take care of the problems, and she's still in it and doing very well, and they are rightfully grateful for this wonderful woman. But in that moment, what happens is we get a picture, a very real picture, like pictures that have been in our lives, of where we are in a state of disconnection. Yes, that divine presence may be everywhere, but I'm not feeling it. It is not in my conscious awareness. I'm not experiencing wholeness and connection. I'm in frustration and upset. And then a moment later, connection. Connected with this power and wisdom and grace that is who we really are. And the difference was he had made a conscious choice to connect with a different part of his being. Let me explain that. Some of you may remember back to that experience before you said, oh, I think I'm going to explore the third dimension and try humanness. I'm going to get one of those little bodies and get in there and see what it's like to experience the third dimension of this beautiful infant creation that I'm a part of. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That would let me learn about this beautiful creative force and dynamic, and they've evolved this amazing thing called the human body. So I can get right there in the third dimension, be a part of it, touch it, experience it. Wow. And your soul said, okay, I'm going to do that. Now, even though at this point it may feel like a dumb decision, the truth is, in that moment, you were one with an amazing wisdom, an infinite wisdom that knew the unfolding of your soul and its purpose, and that knew that what was there would be of meaning and value to that journey that you were on, that infinite journey that you're on. And you said yes. And so a part of that infinite wisdom and harmony and power, at that point, you knew your oneness. You were one with an infinite mind and power, not separate from you, but a part of your being itself. Wow. And then you got this body going, and it started to grow, and you discovered that coming with this body was this marvelous thing that was going to help you interpret and experience the third dimension. It was going to take all the data out there, and it was going to arrange it so that you could go, oh, this is a lectern, and that's a flower, and that's a pretty flower. Yeah, so you could look at the third dimension and experience it, and you could figure things out about it. This amazing instrument called the brain. And it comes with this body, and it's how you're able to be here and interpret things. It's a great instrument. And it is not the wisdom that you were hanging out with before you got it. That's a wisdom at a whole different level. That's a wisdom that knows oneness. That's a wisdom that is connected with all that is. That's a wisdom that understands your purpose and your presence in any moment in creation. Your brain doesn't do that. It's better at looking out and saying, oh boy, that person's really screwing up. It's good at that, okay? And it's not necessarily wrong, as you've noticed, okay. But what happens is because that brain is our default mechanism. It's the one we get with the body, okay? And it interprets our world. And so when we are trying to understand our purpose and how to work with something in this world, it's taken all that data in, but it does it without the wisdom of the soul. And so we get frustrated and anxious and upset and feel powerless because it doesn't know true power. It doesn't know our oneness. Oh, it can think about it, but knowing it's something different. But Peter did something. He connected, and in that connection, then he understood not only the dynamic that was there, but what this being that he cared about really needed to help her connect with herself. Not by instructing her, but by responding to her real need. Our soul does that. It's amazing wisdom that you have. Wouldn't it be nice if we had that all the time? So what we worked with through the last day that we were doing workshop together was how to make that connection. And we looked at different ways because we understand several things about that connection. It doesn't happen to the brain. That runs the body in its thing. It happens through the heart. This is how that connections take place. And you have to choose it. You have to activate it because it's not the default mechanism. If we don't activate it, the brain does its thing. And the thing that it does good. It's just, most of the time, not what we really need. So I want to share with you how. How do you do it? Now, again, knowing that we looked at some different ways of doing this, but I want to go to kind of a core experience that we can take from here and go out and do, and really in whatever turns up to be frustrating today. And Spirit usually cooperates me after a talk. It usually creates frustration for a lot of people. So, there'll be a chance. Oh, excuse me for just a moment. I've got a wonderful 1-year-old grandson, and he's at the point where we're practicing sharing things together. So one of the things that he shared with me is his cough. So, no, thank you. I'll pass up on the cough drop. Thank you. The understanding that has evolved for us as humankind. We've always known the secret of doing this. We haven't really known how to do it. And the secret shows up in all the great teachings and in all the great faiths. We know it goes through the heart. That's not new. And we know that at its essence is love. Now, generally, what I found out is knowing how to love is different than knowing that it's love. And so I want to share with you something that I found so simple. And I got reminded of it. There's a wonderful woman that I've worked with for a number of years. And she shared an experience with me about making this connection in a moment that was very challenging for her. She's a young mom at this point, had her little boy, Jimmy, was 5 or 6. I'm guessing 5, somewhere around in there. And Jimmy deals with autism. So Jimmy's life is very challenging to work with, and a real demand on this young mother. And Linda is divorced, and so the care for this little guy is really fills her world. And she has just made wonderful strides in putting together support and care for this little boy. And one of the things is that, the schedules that help him in the needs that he has. And then Linda got a call from her ex. Anybody ever get one of those calls? Anybody have an ex? Yeah, anyhow, and the ex, his name is James, and James says, "Oh, I just quit my job, and so I've got some free time. So I was thinking, for a while, why don't I take Jimmy for more during the day and this sort of thing?" And so Linda was in the situation of realizing that this was not the first time this had happened, that James tends to go in and out of jobs, and that James is very excited about his ideas of what in the moment would be good really for him. And throughout their relationship, she'd had the opportunity to point that out to him a time or two. And so she gets this call, and it's like, we're back in this again. This child needs the order, the care. This is hard for this little boy when things change and situations change. And so she felt her anger coming up, and she was about to respond from that when she remembered she could connect. And so instead of responding from that place, and fortunately, James was willing to keep on talking while she did this. She made a movement into her heart. And she turned the key, put in that access code that takes us out of this beautiful brain and plugs us into the wisdom of the soul, the spiritual heart where we really hold the magnificent, infinite wisdom of our being. And from there, she responded to James. Now, because this was a phone call and it was sudden, her heart was very clear. This was not the time either to respond to him or to try to work out this sort of thing. So her response was, "I'll take a look at this and get back to you, and let's and so we can talk about it together." And that worked. And then she was able to take the time to really focus and go deep in her heart and make that connection and draw that beautiful wisdom from the soul into conscious awareness. And as a result, they ended up sitting down together, and she laid out the schedules for little Jimmy's life and why change to that schedule was disruptive for him. And at that point, James could see, well, the truth is I'm probably going to have another job in a couple weeks, so maybe we shouldn't do that. And so things went on. But what she did there in that moment, that's a huge change of consciousness. Not connected, connected. But she understood that what makes that connection is not just the heart. We get to the heart. The heart's the location. The heart is the instrument. But that which activates it is the pure feelings that are a part of love. That's what activates it. That's what turns it on and makes a difference. So what is coming to her brings her upliftment. When you connect with your spirit, feel uplifted? That's because it is a lesser density than the density of our thoughts. Feel clear? That's because we're connected to a wisdom that actually understands what we're doing. That helps. Okay. Feel connected with those around us? That's because that spiritual presence is oneness. She knew what he needed. She didn't know what he needed when she was angry with him. She could have explained to him some of the things she thought he needed, but that wasn't going to be productive. Okay, but she actually understood. He needed time. He needed to be engaged in a way that was, because when we're in that oneness, just like when Peter understood what Julia needed, we're connected. We aren't really separate. That's a third dimensional thing. So we understand. What she did was go to the feeling of love. Now, there's a very simple way of entering into that. Now, what I know, because I know Linda, is I know what she probably did to activate that feeling of love was she just focused on this beautiful little 5-year-old in her life that is just a delightful little boy whom she has been caring and treasuring day after day, year after year. And she could focus on him and feel love. Now, she wasn't feeling love for James. That Jesus has a teaching about all that, and it's really important. It's not what we're dealing with here. This is get into love any way you can. Okay, but for Linda, that was easy. That's something that she did, day after day, moment after moment, was connected to her love for this little boy. So she could do it. And she breathed it, because breathing it took her into the feeling. So she would breathe that feeling of love. So James is on the phone, he's talking. Suddenly she connects into her feeling of love for little Jimmy. And she breathes into that feeling. And suddenly it's not the brain that is running her world. It is who she really is. A spiritual being connected to an infinite wisdom of harmony and oneness. So just do that with me now. Just breathe love. Just, I know there's somebody in your world that'll trigger that feeling of love. And the truth is, you don't even need an object. It's just a marvelous thing to feel. Just breathe that feeling. And as you breathe, it's like you can enter in deeper. Yeah, go right down into it. Go deep into that. Just feel it. It's magnificent. Yeah. I think the reason that I got to come down here was so I could stand up here and look at all of you and just breathe love, because you do it for me. All right. Just breathe that love. Oh, my goodness. We're surrounded with such beautiful, magnificent beings. We have opportunities. Did you know that you entered into a morning today that was filled with sunshine? See, that's kind of special to those of us who drove down from Washington. Wow, look at this morning. And I love these sunny mornings. It's easy. Breathe love. When the call comes from your ex, hello, breathe love. When that marvelous individual does the same thing they've always done that gets to you every time, breathe love. When you get and you start up your computer and it does not work like you think it should, breathe love. Yeah, connect with that beautiful divine presence, the magnificent wisdom of the soul that you are. You are love. Bless you.
David, on behalf of everyone, thank you for reminding us of the real deep value of heart math and the value of our heart and our connection. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Our prayer chaplains are available after this service to provide personal prayer support. If you're a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. I know Susan's here. Everybody, hi. You can see our prayer chaplains have their beautiful, Charles in the back, have their beautiful lavender stoles on. So whether you have a joy or a concern on your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions lifted up in consciousness. And now let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive, because in truth there is no lack or limitation, and abundance is our true nature. For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to give financially to this community. For electronic giving, you may download the Give app or take an envelope from the clipboard in the back of the chair in front of you. For those of you at home, you may click on the Give Here or Donate button on the Watch Live page. I invite you to take your tithe or your offering in your hand and repeat our affirmation with me. Together, divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Holy, holy, holy is my God. Highest, holy is the one true God. Creating all things everlasting, omniscient, omnipotent, and heart is love. Heart is love. God is infinite love and mercy. God is infinite love and mercy. God is infinite compassion, giving me life, giving me joy. God is holy, holy, holy. God is infinite love and mercy. God is peace and compassion, giving me life, giving me joy. God is holy, holy, holy. 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 Is my life. Highest, holy is the one true life, creating all things, everlasting, omniscient, omnipotent, and life is love. Life is love. Holy.
Wow, tough act to follow. Thank you so much for coming back again. Invite the ushers to come forward. As we bless this offering, we bless the giver and the gift, that it may go forth and multiply and increase the good in our lives and the lives of those we touch. Together, we give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now.
Repeat after me. One heart, one mind, one love, coming together, coming together, coming together, coming together, we're coming together, coming together, coming together, coming together. One heart, one mind, one love, coming together. One more time now. One heart, one mind, one love, coming together.
Good morning.
Is that mic on?
Hi, everybody. I think it's on. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. So we got these kiddos. We've had fun today. Adrian, do you want to tell them our big news? Okay. All right.
Next week is the last day for food donation.
For food donations. Yeah. What are the food donations for? Anyone want to tell them?
For people with no food?
Yep, that's right. So we have, where are the barrels? Where are they if they want to give some food? Where do they put them, Millie? In the barrels. Yes. And the barrels are over here. One's in the lobby and one's in the kids' room and in the community room. And every week they're looking in there and the kids are checking to see how much food is in there. So you have a non-perishable you could bring, we would greatly appreciate it. They're going to the Contra Costa Food Bank, right? Thank you.
Look,
So let's bless our children and the child in us all together. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. Let's share together our prayer of protection, I think. All right. Enjoy these beautiful hands that you're holding. Isn't that wonderful? Yes. Connected with all these magnificent spiritual beings. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am present. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God ever present, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
You are the love and the light and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun and spread joy.